Good evening and welcome to another episode of Unscripted and Unchained RPG review. I am DM Bluddworth, and as you can see by the graphics, this video is the recap of my Shire Con 2022 experience. This was a convention that I attended, the first convention that I've attended in person in probably over 35 years, and it was really, really good to get out there. I'm glad that this was not only a local con, I mean, literally 45 minutes away from my home, but it was a small con, so that I could, enter into a place. Very, very convenient to get there. Parking, right outside the place. There was a small like a not a diner, but like a small cafe right next door to the place. Nice, quiet community. Beautiful outside yesterday as well. I mean, it was absolutely gorgeous here in New York and in that portion of Connecticut. Certainly, it was a nice drive and couldn't have gone better. I arrived about a half an hour early, so still found easy parking half an hour early and entered into the building. There was easily about 14 tables set up for gameplay, and then some others. There was, I believe, like three vendors, possibly four vendors, and then some of the registration tables and their vending materials. There was an auction table where they were doing a silent auction, and then for the raffle there was several tables set up for the raffle as well. So really, really great experience. As soon as I walked into the place, it was welcoming. It was well populated for the size of the room. Every table was running, and every table was fairly full. Anywhere from five to, some groups actually had like 7 players. So it was a packed house. Every game running, and really, really great experience. I will go through the catalog and go through the various games that were going on, and some of them are identifying what game system they were using. There was a variety of game systems there, all of it OSR, and I don't believe there was a single 5e game going, so everything was OSR. There were some young people there, which was nice to see, and and I was probably pushing among some of the oldest, at 55 years old. So that was kind of your age range. There were some individuals possibly in their late teens, early 20s, all the way up through about mid 50s, maybe slightly older. So anyway, so nice, good convention for all of the conveniences that came along with it. Well, let me go to talk about some of the things. So as soon as you walk in, you sign in, and you receive a little gift bag. So here's a little gift bag that I got, and inside there was a pack of cards called Wars Trading Game. Earther, Gongren, Maverick, Shy, and Quay Wars Trading Game Incursion. So, so a little pack of trading cards. I haven't even opened it up yet. There was a save the date. So Shire Con, September 16th, 2023. Absolutely going. Picked up a, so there was a small, inside the bag, there was an adventure. All right, and this adventure is written by Tom Wilson. Tom Wilson was the organizer. Plus, he, I believe he ran the silent auction, and he had merchandise like T-shirts and other items as well. So, nice short little adventure. Scheduled for 2 to 3rd level characters, 2 to 4 hours, using BXOSE. Although any would probably work well. So this was a free poster. Unfortunately, I got a little bit damaged in my book bag. All right, so and this was by Chet Minton. All right, so a little poster by Chet Minton, and actually I had the pleasure of meeting the man, and we played in a game together, as well. So it was nice. I will talk about some of the, mention some of the people that I did meet, and so I had the pleasure of meeting Eric Tenkar, and his wife was there as well, and we chatted a little bit. Eric and I have chatted, over these last couple of months, whether through Tenkar's Tavern or just separately, as I had reached out to him. We have some common connection to Hunts Point in the South Bronx. I taught there. He was a police officer or detective at the time there, around the same time period. So that was kind of our connection. And so it was, hopeful to get onto his game, but his game was fully booked. So, unfortunately, I didn't get to sit in on one of his games, but certainly did get a chance to meet with him. I also met Scott Legault. Scott Legault was a player of mine in my D&D Beck Me campaign, going back almost 3 years ago now. It's kind of amazing how far back that went, and so saw him there, and it was like great to actually meet him in person, and good to see that we kind of will be going to the same convention circuits, kind of. So he is connected with Rising Phoenix Con, and that's coming up in April. That's in Massachusetts, I believe, and I think that's about like an hour and 45-minute drive for me. So again, certainly something I'll look into in doing that trip, and getting out there, spend a day, and then come back. So still somewhat a local trip for me, so that's not bad either. I also met Tom Veralt. So Tom Veralt is from Tabletop Tap Room YouTube channel, and plus Tom is also associated with Star Frontiers Alive and Will, the Facebook community, which I've actually known Tom through that, going back years and years ago. And only just recently, within like the past year or so, have I been, taking a look at his YouTube channel. And so nice to meet with him. I met him and his wife as well. We had several conversations throughout the day, and it was really pretty cool meeting him as well. Joseph Block, so the Greyhawk Grognard, was there. He was one of the vendors selling his products for Adventures Dark and Deep, and I had purchased his I had purchased his Kickstarter. He has a Cthulhu themed book coming out, and backed that, and so I'm waiting, anticipating to get that as well. So and then finally, Chet Minton I mentioned because he's an artist, and got his free little flyer there. Plus we played in one game together. So let me talk about some of the games that I was in, and I am going to switch views once again. And here we go. So Shire Con 2022, as you can see, it was in Falls Village, Connecticut. Basically ran from 8:30 p.m. to a.m. 8:30 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. So pretty late. I didn't stay for the after party. I left there around 5:30ish, I believe. So let's get to my schedule. So I played in two games. I played in Descent into Darkness. This was a second edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons game, and this was run by Anthony Merida. He did a great job. There was a lot. I do have some pictures, but I didn't want to share the pictures, on the channel, because I didn't want to, I didn't have a chance to check with everybody to make sure it was okay. I'm only mentioning him because he He put his name on here. So it was an 8th and 9th level characters that were running into, basically going into a uh, an elven princess who was captured by the Drow, and we had to find access to the Underdark. We went in, and we had a few combats. We started off fighting two giants, four Lorraine giants, and then we went further in, and then we got into a combat with a number of Drow. Characters were really cool. Every character had some unique magic items that each gave us like a little bit of a very interesting combination of tactics that we could use, and it went really well. We got to the point where it was pretty darn close that that last battle, one of the player characters died. My player character what was first poisoned and incapacitated. Then he got a cure poison on him, and then he went back into battle, and then he got knocked down to -1 hit points. So and then the rest of the party managed to finish off the last of the main combatants, and it was a really challenging combat. We utilized some interesting tactics to remove the main boss, which was a priestess, a priestess of love, and it was a spell that eliminated her, kind of cast her into some kind of a chasm that opened up beneath her. And I'm fairly certain that if she wasn't removed from the combat as quickly as she was, we were probably looking at a very close to a group wipe. So really exciting. That's how a lot of convention games play out too. There's usually, a lot of death and carnage in convention games. They're kind of designed that way, to begin with. And this was a 3-hour game. It could have certainly have been extended potentially to 4 hours. I think it would work great for a 4-hour game. But it was a lot of fun. Really good group of people. Then my second game, I will go back. And my second game was a first edition game. And this variant, it was really cool what he did here. And so this was James Doyle. And James Doyle, I will get my character sheets. I forgot to bust out my character sheets. So what James Doyle did was he gave us these character sheets. I will switch views. Go back here and come back here. So this is the character I get from James Doyle, and that was my character portrait. So at one point we were all turned into Muppets, and so this was the character Rat. He's a Rizzo the Rat. He was a neutral good cleric thief, 9th level, so fairly powerful character, and pretty interesting. A lot of fun playing this adventure. There were times, so it was almost like going into Dungeon Land. There was a lot of weirdness to it, and a lot of it was certainly Gonzo fantasy, and at one point we struggled against these two spiders. Three of us were polymorphed into flies, and we were trapped in the spider, either like a sticky substance. I don't know if it was webbing or whatever, but fortunately the rest of the party was able to defeat them. And then later on, fighting against the characters from the Banana Splits was in there, as well as South Park a little bit later on. So like I said, very, very crazy, very gonzo. And, again, it was a huge challenge, fighting through this adventure. Another one, we went a little bit over, even though it was a 4-hour slot. We did go slightly over, and it was a lot of fun, and it was pretty cool to see how he took this idea of turning everybody into Muppets, and everyone got one of these handouts. We had one or two player characters killed in that one as well, so it was kind of interesting that in both games that I played in, we had characters get killed. In my first game, I forgot to mention. So I played God Brant, and he was a chaotic good human fighter, level 8. And he had some pretty interesting magic items too that really came into play. So he had a broadsword of sharpness, which came into play, and he utilized his helmet of teleportation, at one point to kind of jump the gun and attack the main drow priestess, kind of strike that first blow against her before she laid her hand on him and poisoned him, and it knocked him incapacitated. So really cool experience overall, and certainly looking forward to go back to it again. Looking forward now to Rising Phoenix. I think it's going to be a slightly larger con, but still fairly local. Two other things that I got was a new D20 in the bag, which I forgot to mention, and a small plastic shot glass. Shots build character. There's three little 3d6 that you can shake around and do your rolls in there if you wanted to do your 3d6. But really great experience. Great t-shirt. Love the t-shirt. $20, so you can't go wrong for a nice convention t-shirt for $20. Really like to thank Tom, the organizer. Great experience, and all of the individuals that I played with. Really great experience there, and all of the people that I met. Looking forward to future conventions. Hopefully some of these conventions start propping up, sprouting up again, and getting some of these smaller conventions going in the more local areas now that we're outside of the last 2 years of closures and limitations and such. So now hopefully we're starting to get back to normal, and I'm really looking forward to hitting up some of these small local conventions. I'm really excited about it, and overall great experience. So I will go back to this, and we're back here. So Shire Con 2022 was an absolute success in my opinion, and looking forward to 2023. And try to get out there. It's a totally different experience. If you haven't gone to a convention in person, I highly recommend going to small cons. They're even though you're kind of a little bit more cramped in there, and it's kind of hard to hear everything that's going on at your table. That's the one thing I'll certainly say, is the next time I would sit at the chair next to where the DM's chair is set up. That way I can hear a lot better. But other than that, and that was part of the experience too. I mean, it was really exciting just to see, how many people were there. I mean, to see 14 tables fully rolling, and going through, the number of games that they had done. Actually, that was something I said I was going to mention. So let's see what we have here. We had Descent into Darkness, which was AD&D 2nd edition. We had the Minions of Tenkar, which was Swords and Wizardry Light. We had No Time to Haggle, which was OD&D. We had the Splattered Patina of the Barbarous Blades, which was a BXOSE. We had the Corruption of Ratchet, which was Morkborg. We had Tales of Fartmegan, Tartagan, blah. And that was Hyperborea. Second, Beyond the Wall, Hyperborea. Knight's Bride Coven, which was Swords and Wizardry. Escape from Point Nemo, which was 3-2-1 action. The Macabre series of Murders in the Town of Swampgate, which was Hyperborea, I guess. Masquerade of Dreams, OSE, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Down the Long Winding Road to Andyland, which is one AD&D variant, which is the one I was in. Escape from Skullcano Island, one AD&D. The Demon of Black Cause, which was DCC. The Peril of the Purple Planet, DCC. The Raven Secret, Hyperborea. Deceit of the Russet Lord, Swords and Wizardry. It's Great Cthulhu, Charlie Brown, D&D, 5e. Oh, so there was one 5e game. That was run by Scott Legault. Death Comes from the Town of Swampgate, Hyperborea. Tales of... Oh, same game again, by Hazel. Not sure if that's first name or last name. So that's Hyperborea. Another one AD&D playtest, Three Curses from Sister Saren by Combs. I believe he's a writer publisher. And then Tavern Brawl, run by Wilson. I'm pretty sure that's Tom Wilson. And then Trophies Awarded. This was later, 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. and then afterwards, it was the after party, which, like I said, I didn't stay for. So, again, really exciting time. As you can see, certainly OSR, so appropriate for my channel as well. And you can see a variety of different games going on there. Many of them, fairly well known. I mean, Hyperborea, its third edition has come out. I'm waiting for my deluxe foil copy to arrive in person, to arrive physically. And, so OSE you've seen before. I'm looking forward to Greyhawk, the Greyhawk con that's coming up. That's a virtual con, and there's quite a bit. I've signed up for some of the Castles and Crusades games going on there. So that's something that I'd love to see at Shire Con, and I'll probably look to run something at Shire Con next year. And that would definitely be Castles and Crusades that I'd run at Shire Con next year. So again, really great time there. If you can ever get out to a Shire Con in the future, I highly recommend it, especially if you're anywhere near Connecticut. And, just overall a fantastic first experience back to in-person game conventions, and looking forward to the ones that I have coming up. So have a great evening. Thanks for stopping in. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions about the con itself, then please feel free to put them in there, and perhaps I can forward them to the organizers. I know they have some plans for expanding it a little bit next year, possibly multiple day. So I know that's one thing that was brought up on Ten Cars Tavern, I believe, when he might have interviewed Tom, the organizer, within the last 2 weeks or so. So certainly look into that, and definitely try to get out there. I believe it is September 16th next year, 2023. So it still looks like it's maybe one day, although I think that they were talking about making it a day and a half. So half the day Friday, and then into Saturday. So thanks for stopping in. Have a great evening.